Hello and welcome to lesson 3 of week 4. In this lesson, we are going to look at sets in JavaScript. My name is Mildred. A set is a collection of unique values, and when we create a set, we can have values of any data type, and we can also loop through the set, so it is an iterable. We create a set we can use the const keyword. Let is also allowed, but it is the convention to use const for things that are like the object data type. So we have const my set. Let's use my set is equal to new set and a pair of parentheses. You can put in the values or elements in the pair of parentheses on declaration, or you can use the add method to add values to it later on. So we can say my set dot add, and then we put elements here. So let's say we want to add 1 2 3, so we can have my set dot add 2, like that. So this is how we create a set, and if we want to check what it will print out, we can say console.log my set, and when we go to our console, we're going to see the set 1 2 in it. We can create this initializing it with values as we create the set. So instead of using this, we can say const my set is equal to new set, and then in a pair of square brackets within the parentheses of the set definition, we put the values. Let's say we want to add 1 2 3 4 5, and when we do console.log my set, we will have the set with the values 1 2 3 4 printed out. We have the size property that returns the number of elements in a set. So we'll say console.log my set.size is going to return the number of elements. So we have 4 here, and so it's going to return 4. There are several methods that we use to work on set or manipulate set. We saw the add method that we use to add items to a set. So we can say my set, let's say we want to add a new item, dot add, and we want to add 5. Okay, and so when you do this and we refresh, we will have 5 elements in the set. If we print out the set, we will have 1 2 3 4 5. So we use the add method to add elements to a set. We can delete using the delete method. Let's say we want to delete number 1 here. So we'll say my set dot delete, and we want to delete 1. So we'll say my set dot delete 1. And when we refresh, we only have 2 3 4 because we deleted 1 out of. We can also use the for each method to loop through the set. So let's try using the for each. Let's say that we want to add several items at once, and then we want to loop through the set. You see, we use dot add method like this, right? And we add something. Let's say we add 1. Because 1 already exists here, it is going to ignore 1. So you can continue chaining them like this, dot add 5, dot add 6. So you can do the add method like this and chain it together. It will add everything there. And so when we look here, we're going to see it. So now we can loop through this set. We can say 1 to 6 here. We can loop through this set, and we can say my set dots. So like we looked at in the arrays lesson, we loop through, we can use the for each method. So my set dot for each, and then we want to get an iterator. Let's say for each num, we're going to use this syntax. So for each num, and we use this arrow syntax, so it is equal to and greater than. For each num, we want to log it to the console. So for each num, console.log my set, like this. And we'll do this, we put a semicolon, and we come to our console, we have it 6 6. So we see what we did here. We made it to log the my set every time. So what we want to log here is the num, right, the iterator. So when it gets to 1, we want it to print out 1 2 3 4. So you understand the difference. This num is like an iterator. It can be any name you want, but num is what we want to print. So it's like you have pencil and you point at this. The num is like a pencil. When you point at 1, it logs 1. When you point at 2, it logs 2. So that's what it is. And so now we're going to have it printed 1 to 6 there on the console. We can convert between a set and an array, and since this set removes duplicates, what happens is that it filters an array. So anytime you have a problem and they say you should remove duplicate from an array, it is very easy, because all you need to do is to convert that array to a set. Let's say, for instance, I have an array. So let's say const numbers is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 3 4 2 1 5 6. So we have duplicates here, and I want to remove duplicates from this. So I can say my set is equal to new set, and I'll pass in the array here, numbers. So now I can now convert back to an array to print it out. So I'll say const unique array will now be equal to a pair of square brackets, and then you put 3 ellipses and the name of the variable my set. So this will now convert this back to an array. So this ellipsis in JavaScript, it just expands the number array into individual elements. Okay, it's called the spread operator, and when we go deeper and you start building apps, you will understand it better. So now we can say console.log. Maybe we want to log the type of unique array. So type of unique array was here. So array sets, everything is going to come out as an object when you check the type. So when we print out unique array, we'll get the array of unique numbers to the console like that. So you can play around with this and see how you can use a set and convert it to an array. We can look at the practical uses of sets. We looked at how we can use it to remove duplicates from an array. We can use it to check for a presence faster than we can use an array to check for the presence of something. So let's say we want to check if this set of numbers contains the number 6. So because if we have this array, we can convert to a set and then we can check if it has it. So let's say here we want, I won't convert this back to an array. So I'll say console.log, and because now it's a set, I can use the has method for a set. So I'll say console.log my set.has, and I want to see if it has the number 6. It will return true if it has 6 and false if it doesn't have 6 there. So true. There are mathematical operations we can perform with a set, and this is one of the practical examples where we want to have 2 sets of items and we want to check if they both contain something, or if there's like an intersect, if there's a difference between them, if there's something that exists in one and doesn't exist in the other. So we have different methods for that. So if we want to look at the union method now, we'll say, let's say we have a set, and this set is, let's just create one, const set1, let's call this set1, or let's call this a is equal to new set, and this will contain the number 1, 2, 3. Let's say const b is equal to new set. Let this set contain the number 3, 4, 5. Now if we do the union and we say let union, let's say let union be equal to new set, and in a pair of parentheses we want to say we want it a, so we use the spread operator a, comma, the spread operator b, like that. Now it's going to print out, let's put union here, so it's going to return the sets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the union operator will combine both sets together, so it makes it easier. So if you have two separate arrays, you want to combine them, it's easier to convert to a set and then combine them because of the efficiency a set has over an array. It's faster than we can do intersection also to say we want to see what one has and the other doesn't have. So let's say for instance we want this to be intersect, so let's say intersection like this. So let intersection equal to new set, and we want to see if a and b have elements in common. So we say intersect a, so make it individual on its own. So intersect a, and we want to filter, so we'll say dot filter, then we'll filter in a pair of round brackets here. So dot filter, now when we filter we want to loop and see true b. So a dot filter, let's use x as the iterator, and then we use the arrow construct b dot has x. Okay, so what we are doing here now to make it faster is we're checking if b has anything that a has, so we're using filter to do that. And so when we log the intersection, we'll get 3, because both a and b has 3 here in common. So when I come here and I refresh, I'll see 3 there. We can also use the same thing for difference to see what is the difference between both. When I say difference, I mean what a has and b doesn't have. And so when we look at it here, we can see that both has 3, but a has 1, 2, b has 4, 5. And so when we want to see what a has and b doesn't have, we're going to look at only what a has that b does not have. So it's going to be 1 and 2. And if we do it the other way, or we use something we call symmetric difference, then we can take the difference for each one of them. So let's try the difference. So let's say difference here is going to be equal to new set a dot filter. So if we say we want the difference, anything that a has that b doesn't have, we can just use the not operator that b doesn't have like this, and it's to tell us 1 and 2. A has 1 and 2, b does not have 1 and 2. So intersection is not defined, sorry, we are printing difference, not intersection. So when we refresh, we'll see 1 and 2. You can use is disjoint from, and you get true, they have no element in common, is subset of, you will get all the elements in a is in b, then you get true true, but if not false. You can have a superset of where you return true if all the elements of B is in A, and then the symmetric difference, return a new set that contains everything in A that is not in B and B that is not in A but not both. So these are the different methods that we have. You refer to your lesson resource, try them out, and research more to see what more we haven't discussed. So I just mentioned some here that are not in your lesson resource for you to try. So you try the is disjoint from, a subset of, a superset of, a symmetric difference, and see how it works. So the thing about set is that the order is preserved. So the insertion order is preserved for a set in JavaScript. Duplicates are not allowed. It's useful for mathematical operations and for quick lookups, and the set is not index based, so you cannot access elements by index like an array. So we have something we call the weak set, which is similar to a set, only that it stores only objects in it. So let's say we want to create a weak set. The only difference between a set and a weak set is just about garbage collection. You can research and read more about it. Let's say let my set be equal to, now we have new weak set, and then you can now use the methods to add, but you're only adding an object. So let's say let my object, for instance, be equal to, and for this object, let's say we want to add name. So we'll say name is Jane. Let's say name is Jane Doe, and we want to have age is 25, and then we'll have this my set dot add my object. Okay, now we can do console.log my set. So this is how we create a weak set. So like I said earlier, garbage collection is the only difference between set and a weak set. When you research more about weak set, you see where it applies, how it applies, and you try it out. All right, so this is where we end this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to look at maps in JavaScript. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.